All right, let's dive right into this explainer. Look, if you're anything like most people, just hearing the word saving probably feels like a total chore, right? It usually feels like restriction, like you're giving up the things you love, or like this massive, impossible mountain you've got to climb all at once. But today, we are going to completely shift that mindset. We're going to see how building wealth isn't actually about massive, painful overhauls. It's really about a seamless, daily habit where tiny, almost invisible shifts snowball into significant wealth. We are taking you from micro habits all the way to macro wealth.
But before we get into the how, we gotta look at a pretty startling number: 56%. According to a recent Bankrate study cited by Motherly, 56% of Americans wouldn't be able to pay for an emergency expense of $1,000 or more straight from their savings account. Think about that for a second. More than half of the country is living right on the edge of a financial cliff, feeling the really intense squeeze of inflation, rising grocery bills, and climbing utility expenses. The stakes are absolutely incredibly high right now.
So, I want you to ask yourself honestly, could you comfortably handle an unexpected bill today without a massive life overhaul? If your car just flat out broke down, or say the water heater burst, would that be a minor inconvenience or a major financial crisis? If just thinking about that gives you a little knot of stress in your stomach, take a deep breath. I am throwing you a lifeline today. Building a comfortable safety net and eventually real lasting wealth absolutely does not require you to turn your life upside down. Section 1, the habit stacking secret, the psychology of saving. So, according to research and educational strategies from waterford.org, if you want to actually succeed at saving money, you've got to stop relying on willpower. Willpower fades. Instead, you need to rely on habit stacking. Basically, this is a productivity hack where you create a brand new habit simply by linking it to an existing established habit you already do completely on autopilot, like eating breakfast or brushing your teeth. Your existing habit essentially acts as a built-in trigger. Okay, so how does it work? It's literally just 3 simple steps. First, you pinpoint an existing daily habit. Second, you stock a new habit on top of it that takes 5 minutes or less. Third, you make it highly measurable. Vague goals like save more almost always fail, but specific goals like save $1 succeed. So for example, your stock could be, right after I put my finished breakfast plate in the sink, I'm going to instantly transfer $2 from my checking to my savings account. It takes maybe 10 seconds, requires zero willpower, and it happens every single day.
Moving on to Section 2, Smart Daily Budget Tweaks, Finding the Funds.
All right, it is the classic age-old debate, buying lunch and coffee out versus bringing it from home. I know we hear it all the time, but Moneylion points out that the math here is just undeniable. Cutting out those daily fast food runs or cafe visits and instead investing in a reusable travel mug for home-brewed coffee can easily save you hundreds of dollars in a single month. If you work a hybrid schedule, just bringing your food to work on the days you actually commute reclaims a massive chunk of cash that you can funnel right into your daily habit stack. And, we absolutely have to talk about the grocery store because food costs are a huge pain point right now. Banker's Life has a few rapid-fire hacks for us. First, shop the loss leader items. These are those front-page sales stores literally take a loss on just to get you through the doors. Buy them, but don't fall for the high-price stuff in the next aisle over. Go for generic brands. Buy frozen produce. It's often way cheaper and lasts so much longer. Avoid the convenience tax of pre-cut veggies or shredded cheese. And seriously, bring your own reusable bags. Those little bag fees add up way faster than you'd think. Now here's a super specific and honestly kind of surprising tip from Moneylion. Hear me out on this. Consider buying a compact bread machine. Loaves of bread are a constant recurring grocery expense for most of us, right? But keeping simple bulk ingredients like flour and dry yeast on hand lets you make your own bread at home for a tiny fraction of the retail cost. It's these kinds of little micro tweaks that suddenly free up $50 or $100 a month in your budget completely without you feeling deprived. All right, Section 3, gamify your savings, making it fun. Let's talk about the 365-day nickel challenge. It's exactly what it sounds like. On day 1, you save just 5 cents. Day 2, you save 10 cents. Day 3, 15 cents. You literally just keep adding a nickel. By the very last day of the whole year, the absolute most you ever have to transfer in a single day is $18.25. But look at that bottom line. The total saved is $3,339.75. This brilliantly illustrates the snowball effect. Tiny increments, totally painless in the beginning, effortlessly escalating into thousands of dollars in a single year. No way, right? But it works. But hey, if the nickel challenge isn't really your vibe, no worries. There is a game out there for everybody. Take the 100 envelope challenge, for instance. You label envelopes 1 through 100, pull one at random every day, and put that exact dollar amount inside. In 100 days, you've saved over 5 grand. Or maybe try the 45-day backwards challenge. Start at 45 bucks and count down, saving a quick grand. Or shop Brookbank's famous 1p challenge over in the UK, where saving a penny a day and increasing by a penny daily saves nearly £668. The whole point is to make it interactive, measurable, and honestly, just fun for the whole family. Okay, Section 4, the power of 10, the math of growing wealth. So this is the literal math of wealth accumulation, and it is fascinating. Rutgers breaks down what happens if you save just $10 a month. Let's say you get a 5% interest rate. After 30 years, that tiny $10 a month becomes over $8,300. But remember, the number 10 is scalable. What if you save $100 a month instead? Well, you just multiply that final number by 10. That becomes over $83,000. This proves that consistency, when you combine it with time and interest, is the absolute ultimate wealth-building formula. And here is an absolutely mind-blowing fact from Rutgers. This exact same micro-math works just as powerfully in reverse to completely destroy your debt. Check this out. If you have a $10,000 credit card balance sitting at a 17% interest rate, and you add just one single extra dollar a day to your minimum payment, that's just 30 extra bucks a month, you are going to save $12,615 in lifetime interest. Seriously, $1 a day saves you over 12 grand. That is the sheer, undeniable power of micro habits. Which brings us to Section 5, micro investing, making the snowball grow. So what do you do with this new cash you're saving? Well, individual, everyday users make up a massive 70% of the micro investing market right now. This isn't just for Wall Street hedge funds anymore. This is a massive financial trend driven entirely by everyday people who are taking control of their finances using nothing but their smartphones. And this shift, it's deeply generational. Market.us highlights that millennials are actually 43% more likely to use their mobile devices for investing. We are seeing a massive cultural shift toward tech-savvy, low-barrier wealth building. People don't want to call up a traditional stockbroker. They want to be able to swipe on their phone while they're standing in line for coffee. To put this into perspective, the sheer scale of this market's projection is staggering. Back in 2023, the global market size for these apps was around $380 million. But by 2033, it is projected to explode to over $2.5 billion. That's a massive 20.8% compound annual growth rate. And this explosion is largely being driven by cloud-based deployment and automated robo-advisors that just make the whole technology incredibly seamless and scalable. So why exactly are they booming like this? Well, the reasons perfectly synergize with literally everything we've talked about today in this explainer. They offer cloud-based accessibility from anywhere. They feature automated roundups, which means they round your coffee purchase up to the nearest dollar and automatically invest the change. Guys, that is literally automated habit stacking. Plus, they offer fractional shares, meaning you can invest in huge household name companies with just $5. They are incredibly user-friendly for absolute beginners, and they feature low fees or even zero commission trading. They are basically the ultimate tool for turning those micro savings into macro wealth. To really bring this explainer full circle, listen to this insight from Market.us. The main appeal of micro investing apps is their accessibility, making investing approachable and achievable for everyone, even if they have only a little bit of money to start. See, you don't need a massive six-figure salary to build an emergency fund. You don't need to be rich to start an investment portfolio. You really just need to begin with exactly what you have right now. So that leaves us with one final vital question for you. What micro habit are you going to stack today to build your macro wealth tomorrow? Is it going to be bringing your coffee to work? Maybe starting the 100 envelope challenge or downloading a micro investing app to just round up your spare change? Pick just one tiny, painless step from this explainer, stack it onto something you already do today anyway, and watch that snowball start rolling. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and happy saving.